Hey, what's going on, friends? You know what it is? Coach Liz here from Money Hero Buddy, and welcome to Mentorship Monday. It's always one of my favorite, probably the busiest, but one of my favorite days of the week. So let's rock and roll. All right, so you probably heard and you know this phrase. I bet you told it yourself. Yeah, I choked on something. I didn't even know on water. All right, promise I'm not gonna die in front of your eyes right now. I'm good. All right, let's keep rock and rolling. All right, guys. So you probably heard or told that phrase to yourself. I'll start tomorrow, right? Start tomorrow. I'll start next week. And always that tomorrow rolls into next week, rolls into the next month, and rolls into the next year. You probably know what I'm talking about, right? We're gonna talk is probably so the name of today's masterclass live, right, is procrastination. So I don't want to start super clear, right, with what is procrastination, right? What procrastination is the act of putting off tasks or responsibilities, even when you know it could have negative consequences. That feels deep, right? That gets deep. All right. Again, one more time. Procrastination is the act of putting off tasks or responsibilities, which is really important, even when you know it could have negative consequences. It can affect many aspects of your life, including work, school, or relationship. Here we go. I want to even add your, yeah, pretty much life, your health, life, work, school, relationship, you name it. So that's how bad procrastination is. And still we always tell to yourself that I'll start next week. I'll start when I have more free time. That's a big one. I'll get serious when work slow down. I'll get on it when the work will slow down. When I have more time. And yet, there's never that time comes, right? There's never perfect time for anything, right? So, and every day, day in and day out, you delay, and you pushing your goals, those things that you really wanted, that you really was, your main reasons that you're doing this, so that you're pushing them off for later that will benefit you, especially your health. Like, we're going to talk about health, wealth, relationship all together, guys, in this lives. Of course, we're going to connect all of this to fitness. But of course, I'm talking about, you're building your wealth too. So that procrastination goes into those goals as well, right? So basically, you're robbing yourself, of that body that you deserve. You're robbing yourself of that body that you deserve. You're robbing yourself of that energy. You're robbing yourself of that wealth that you deserve by procrastinating, right? So that's one topic I want to talk today. One of my clients gave me an idea to talk about procrastination, and I have so many things that I can relate to. And there's a couple lessons will be today. I definitely learned the hard way, I would say, learn the hard way that I want to share with you that hopefully will help you. All right. So you can get that procrastination, you can get control over your procrastination. Okay. So let's start with why men struggle with procrastination, right? This number one question. Why? Right? Most guys, most men, let's agree, right? I'm talking to right now two guys who have responsibilities, right? So we have responsibilities in our life. We're talking to, 20, 30 plus men right now. So why we struggle with procrastination? Because it's usually family, we have bills to pay, we have responsibilities to have a lot, let's call it a lot in our plate, right? And when you have a lot in our plate, we usually come up with a three, right? Three, I just basically cut down to three main excuses why we find procrastination is pretty much in our lives, right? So, number one, I don't have time right now, right? We're so busy, right? We have families to feed, we have bills to pay, we have stuff to do, especially in the mission of something that I don't have time right now. All right. So, the problem for this, it's not that you don't have time, you just don't set your priorities probably, right? It's not about finding the time, it's about making the time. Number two, I need to do my research, right? I need to figure it out. Let me check more stuff, let me think about it, let me think about, let me do my research. I need more info. And to be honest, you don't need more info. You don't need more information. You just need to take action. You just need to take a massive action on that goal. That's all you need to do. And number three, right? Number three is I'll done it. I'll do this when I'm motivated. Like when I'm motivated, I'll get this done. Just let's wait for that little leap of motivation, and I'll get this done. And again, I'm guilty of this. In my 20s, I was relying a lot on motivation, but I want to tell you, my friends, if you still don't know, the motivation is basically unreliable. It's unreliable and totally temporary, right? It's never permanent. So you cannot rely on motivation. Always comes and goes. On Monday, you feel hyped and cool, and by Saturday, or by Tuesday morning, that motivation just fades away. And now, my friend, your discipline comes in place, right? Your discipline is always there. So discipline will always be over motivation, right? So here's the truth, right? So you will never have more time, right? You'll never have more time. Trust whatever you say to yourself, like it will things will slow down, the work will get easier, or anything, you'll never have more time, right? You don't need more knowledge, like I said. You just need to take a massive action. Let me think about, I'll need to do more research, the always excuse, that's what, laziness inside you, that basically not knowing that, basically not having the massive not taking the massive action. And that what, stops you, basically that doubt, right? So self-doubt, that's what exactly I want to say. Self-doubt basically kicks in a lot of times, and that's why you need to think about it. Let me wait, think, let me do more research. And that's what procrastination kills all your dreams, right? And the last one, it's not your motivation. You don't need more motivation. You just need to build discipline in your life. All right. And I'm going to give you, of course, little blueprint. I call it, 5 steps blueprint that you need to will help you to crush procrastination and take action. And I'm going to give you a couple life lessons based on my real stories in my life. So let me start with the story, right? So that's what's happening was actually with my online coaching business. And I am not the one who, gonna talk here, not from experience. I'm the one who had a lot of procrastination in my 20s. Like I said, I'm guilty of several of these things. Seriously, I can relate a lot because I was guilty of always relying on motivation. I was always in my 20s, I was always looking for motivation, like, here we go. I need to get the motivation right now here. And that's the one thing I was relying. I wasn't disciplined at all. I was just looking for that, a little bit put in of that gas in the fire every day, and kind of got me somewhere. But again, it's not reliable. It's not sustainable. Motivation can get you this far, but discipline will get you to the final destination, right? So that's why I'm guilty of relying on motivation a lot, but also not taking action, for example, on my online business. So let me tell you, back during the COVID, right? So 2019, I started back then my online coaching, but I really took it serious only about 1.5 years ago. Imagine 5 years, right? It's been 5 years, over 5 years since I started. And until I took massive action, just about, it said almost 2 years ago, 1.5, 2 years ago. Before that, I had zero online clients. I had zero money coming from online because I wasn't taking it serious and I wasn't taking massive action. I was doing all the little things, I was building my website for freaking, I don't know, 3 or 4 months, which should take like no more than a week. I was working on design. I was making it fancy. I was just procrastinating. Exactly another one, like I said before, I needed to do more research, how the online coaching will work. I was doing all of this, little things, all this job, but I wasn't focusing on the main thing, right? So getting clients, making money. I was doing design, website design. I was filming exercises, like building library. Like for who? I had no one to teach. So basically, I was doing all of that just, to kill time, to procrastinate. So trust me, when I say it, I speak from my heart and speak from my own experience that I know what procrastination is. And when I finally took a massive action about 2 years ago, 1.5, 2 years ago, in 2023, I started seeing amazing results. I started getting clients, I started getting results to my clients. I'm doing all of this lives, like to my clients, to my community, for you, my subscribers, because I started building that momentum. When I started taking action, I started building massive momentum, and now I'm not gonna stop. And number one, here's your first step the blueprint is shift your identity. You gotta shift your identity that you are become a doer and not a delayer. You gotta do instead of saying I'll try one day, maybe I'll try when I have more time. You just say I do. So you gotta shift your identity. Number one, write it down right now. Shift your identity, right? So what does it mean? Shift identity, it's just you have to tell to yourself, man, I'm the one. I'm the one who will pull this off. And again, it might take you some time, seriously. It didn't happen overnight for me. It might take some time for you to get to that level, but it's all that self-work, that self-improvement comes in place. So you gotta say, I'm the one, and also I'm the doer, right? So I'm not here to think, I'm not a thinker, I'm not a delayer, I am the doer. I'm the motherfucking one, okay? And I'll do anything, whatever it takes to get this thing rolling, right? Or to get this thing done, or to build my physique, or to make this much money, I'll do whatever it takes. So you gotta shift your identity, right? So that's number one. So act, you have to act, and it's not like fake it until you make it, basically. You're not shifting your identity in that way, but you basically start believing it in that so hard that you don't miss. I said to myself, like another thing you can start doing it. I started telling to myself, I don't miss. Seriously, I do not miss. I do not miss on my workouts. I do not miss on check-ins with my clients. I do not miss on my business, getting new clients or posting. And I'm still working on it. I'll be honest with you. I'm a human being, so I'm still like, messing my posting, for example. I'm not super consistent. Sometimes I, fall into that basically pit of like I have had race this weekend, for example, so I couldn't post. I was like really, my nervous system was crushed after the savage race, so I had to take a break. So I'm still not perfect, and it's okay. I'm a human being, but I'm saying to myself that I don't miss. I do my best every freaking day in order to make this happen, right? In order to build the best physique, in order to have amazing clients that I'm always delivering message to them, I'm always delivering results to them. So I do not miss. So, okay, so start with shifting your identity. Instead of say I'll try, you say I do, and you do the regardless. If you miss sometimes, if you mess up, it's okay. Just get yourself back up, dust yourself up, get yourself back up, and keep freaking going. It's life. Life happens, shit happens in life. So just keep going, man, okay? So number one is shift identity, right? Number two is non-negotiables. Again, non-negotiables, I'm always talking about them. I'm going to continue talking. That's the one hack that I learned from a mentor. Non-negotiables is something that you do regardless. No matter what it takes, no matter how you feel, you do them regardless. You don't need to set of them like million of these things, but two to three non-negotiables a day based on your relationship, wealth, and health. You got to do regardless, and that's what, like I said, discipline comes in place. Instead of relying on motivation, I'll do it when I feel in it, I'll do it, next day, when I'm feeling it, next month. No, you just rely, you do regardless. Every day you set your non-negotiables. And again, when you grow up, when I grow up, when you grow through different phases of your life, when your physique changes, when your bank accounts changes, you might of course want to adjust those non-negotiables. Maybe a couple of them will be staple for the rest of your life, but core values and non-negotiables, those things that you want to set and stick to them regardless. Okay, next one, moving, it's a use 5 minutes rule. Again, little hack for you. 5 minutes rule, it's basically you tell to your brain, you trick your brain that I'll do it just for my 4 or 5 minutes. I'll do this, I'll go work out for just 4 or 5 minutes. And when you lie down on the couch and you're just completely tired, you're exhausted, and you don't want to work on your business, you don't want to go for that walk, or you don't want to go work out, you just say to yourself, I'll do it for 5 minutes. When you have anxiety, another one, when you have anxiety to go to the gym, you just say, I'll show up for 5 minutes, I'll jump on the treadmill, I'll do one set of cable row, and I leave. Okay, And most likely, 9 times out of 10, again, it's okay. Even if you'll do those 5 minutes and you leave, it's already a great start. Let me tell you that. But most likely, 9 chances out of 10, you will stay longer, even 20, 30, 40 minutes. And because your heart starts pumping, actually, you start feeling better. The heart rate goes up and you're like, holy crap, I did this row or I jump on the treadmill. So now let's do this, let's do that. And actually, you can complete the whole workout. That happened with me a million times. I say to myself, oh, I'm just gonna go stretch, for 5 minutes, and that's it. And I start stretching. After that, I'm like, let me do 5 pull-ups. I do 5 pull-ups. Let me do 10 push-ups, and on and on and on. And 45 minutes later, I'm like, holy crap! I just got the whole amazing workout. And an hour ago, I was literally just beating myself up, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. I'm not going. All right. So 5 minutes rule. Talk to yourself. I'll do it for 5 minutes. Okay. Next one, stop being perfect. All right. So completely cut on perfectionism. All right. Perfection is the killer of anything. So instead of being perfect, and I still see it till this day with my clients, and I've been this way actually also in my 20s, and I still see it till this day with my clients, like I said, trying to be perfect, like, oh, if I cannot, and let me give you example, if I cannot make it to the gym, and have the full hour workout that I plan to do today, I'm not gonna do at all, right? So that perfectionism completely kills your dreams. So that's what happens, it completely kills your goals. Because instead of being perfect and just looking, because you'll never maybe have like that perfect workout when you feel 100%, 10 out of 10, and you have the full 65 minutes to complete your workout. It might happen once a month. So imagine if you only rely on those perfect workouts, you'll never succeed, my friend, right? And you'll never get in the best shape of your life. So instead of this, just do what you can, right? Do your best every day. If you cannot get 60 minutes workout, just do 50 push-ups at home. Seriously, just break them down, do 5 sets of 10 push-ups, and it's already the big win. So don't try to be perfect, but try to do a little something every day. It's already much better. You're gonna just keep momentum rolling, and that will get you much further than you're just gonna rely on those perfect workouts. Okay, if you cannot go for 30 minutes walk, go for 5 minutes walk. Just go around the block. Sometimes I literally go outside and I go around my building, and that's it. I come back, it's already better than I would just sit on my ass on the couch. So do a little something, it's better than nothing. Okay, a little something is better than nothing. So stop being perfect. Okay, all right, moving to the next one. I call it pay to play, right? Pay to play. It's a big one too, and that's what actually helped me to overcome my procrastination in 2023 when I started really taking massive action as an online coach with my online business, Modern Hero Body, my company, because I paid mentor, right? So like as stupid as it sounds, so like you're like, duh, yes, my friends, exactly. So have you noticed you ever pay for something, you appreciate it much more? Have you ever noticed sometimes you get something for free and you're like, oh, it's cool. I got like a iPad for free and I barely use it, But when I buy like my iPhone, I bought like the $150 AirPods the other day. Damn, man, I appreciate them. I'm like, damn, this quality, this sound in my ears, the best right now. For $150, they sound freaking amazing, right? Because when you pay for something, you will show up, number one, and you will appreciate it much more, right? When you sign up for $20 gym or for like those 39.99 workouts, like cookie cutter workouts, then you're most likely not gonna do it, right? So you might do it a little bit, you maybe will show up at the gym, but when you pay $2,000 for trainer, for coach, for mentor, then you're sure as hell you won't skip, right? You'll be like, damn, I just paid $2,000 compared to 20 bucks, for the program. I better show up. So when you pay, you show up and you appreciate it more and you execute much better. So why? Because money creates accountability. It's a massive one, right? So let's be honest. Exactly. When you pay for something, like I said, you show up and you do appreciate it more. So that was for me the huge moment when I paid for my mentor, and at the end of 2023, things started going well. Exactly. I started taking massive action because I'm like, I paid right now thousands of dollars, so I better start taking action, because literally my back was against the wall and I'm like, I have to make this happen right now because I just paid $3,000 for my mentor. So whether it's a mentor, coach, anything in your life, when you pay, actually I call it, the more you pay, the more you will appreciate it. So if you pay for some cheap ass, cookie cutter workout, you most likely like $39.99, it's not gonna break the bank for you, and you're most likely not gonna do it, right? So going to the gym by yourself. But when you have accountability, when you like even, I don't know, pay your friend $100, to keep you accountable, that will already make a huge difference on you. All right. Cool. Moving to the next one. All right. Like I said, also actually wanted to add on the coach. Also, why having coach so beneficial? Even if like usually actually from my experience, usually I already work with several coaches. And again, you just might make a shortcut. You're not only gonna show up, but also you like 10x usually shortcut your journey. Because imagine you have someone in your corner who not only keep you accountable for that money, but also done it before to themselves or been doing it for some other people, so they're ready. He knows how to help you. He knows how to do it, right? With that mentor coach. So not only you're showing up, you're more accountable, but also you can get there much faster instead of, because time is money, right? So why would you wait? Why would you spend, like I spent 3 years by myself building the website, doing exercise library without coach. I had no idea what I was doing. And when I hired the coach, I'm like, oh my God, that was so stupid. I was doing completely wrong. So sometimes actually without coach, it's not only accountability, but also it will maybe you will never get to the final destination. And sometimes actually you can have several coaches. Sometimes one coach might not get you to the final destination, but what I learned from my experience, every coach that I hire, I'm still far, far away from my final destination, but every coach I hire, I learn something just like, oh my God, this is mind blowing, So every time you learn such at least one or two valuable lessons, usually it's even more, that you like, oh my God, that was amazing. So now I know how to do this. But sometimes you just need to go to different layers and hire several coaches to get you to the final destination. All right. Just wanted to clarify that too. Cool. So pay to play. All right. 5-minute rule. So we already learned, right? So shift your identity, right? So shift your identity. You got to become the person who never miss. All right. Number 2 is non-negotiables. Non-negotiables always over motivation, right? Discipline over motivation with help of non-negotiables. Number 3 is pay to play, I call it, right? You pay for accountability, you pay to show up, you're most likely gonna appreciate it more, but also that will help you to speed up your journey. You'll get there faster. Next one hack, I call it Tony Robinson, in order to make the forced action. I even listened to him yesterday. So listen to Tony Robbins, and he said, burn the bridges, right? You probably heard burn the bridges. So sometimes you got to do it, man. Seriously, it's one of the options. Sometimes you know exactly if you always snack on something sweet at home, then get rid of it. Get rid of all the sweets in your house, right? If you're procrastinating in the morning to go to the gym in the evening, then use the 5 minutes rule or prepare gym clothes that it's in front of you when you wake up. The second you wake up, it's in front of you, right? So that's why you have to put it on and just leave. All right. So burn the bridges. That's another little hack for you. All right. Sometimes, like I said, you have to go all in. Again, another example, like a little went all in, my back got against the wall because I literally used all my money on my bank account. I paid thousands of dollars in order to hire the coach. Again, another great example, burn the freaking bridges, right? And the last thing I wanted to leave you today, what I put notes. So the last thing I wanted to tell you that, where's my last step? Damn, I had such a great, and of course, always like, I always I wanted to leave the good one, the best for the last. Yeah, here we go. The last one again, and now another great hack for you for procrastination, another ninja hack for you is, I call it basically, do not focus on journey, but focus on destination. Okay, and let me clarify that right now, right? So for example, let me give you example. For example, if you just terrified of the flights, but you want to go to Bali, right? Or to Hawaii, let's say you want to go to Hawaii, the one probably the most beautiful places in the entire world, so beautiful there, but it's only one way to get there is to fly. And you just hate or terrified from flying. So instead of focusing on that flying that you have to do that regardless, right? So do not focus on the pain, right? Do not focus on the journey, but focus on the destination. So what I mean by that, it can apply to anything in your life, whether it's a fitness, wealth. So instead of focusing on that, oh my God, this workout is going to be so hard, so tough. Think about the final outcome that you're going to get. Oh my God, I'm going to have much more energy. I'm going to look amazing. When I look good, I feel good. So my body is going to be another level, I'll have much more confidence. So I want you to think about destination, right? Don't think about journey. Don't think about the pain, because usually when you have the pain, that's where you're procrastinating. Like, oh my God, it's gonna be so hard. I have to go for that 3 miles run. I have to go lift weights. So don't think about that. That's why vision board, when it comes in place, so handy. So when you look at that, you see that final destination of your wealth, of your confidence, of you looking great. The same applies to your business. If I hate, to hop on Excel calls, or you hate, do anything in your business, to make money, focus on the final destination. Focus on that house that you're gonna buy, that you're gonna support your kids, you're gonna support your family, so you're gonna buy that dream car. So all of that, you're gonna have your dream body. So focus on the destination instead of focusing on the current pace. Because pain right now, it's just temporary, right? That pain temporary, and when you get to that final destination, that's when you're gonna have all the fun, right? So friends, hope that was helpful for you. Like I said, I covered 5 steps or 5 blueprints for you today to kill the procrastination. Hope that was helpful. So, last thing I want to say again, every time you delay, you stay the same, right? Remember this. Every time you delay, you stay the same. Every time you take action, you take control of your life, right? Every time you take action, you take control of your life. So probably heard this phrase, success loves speed. So it takes everywhere, right? You place everywhere, health, wealth, relationship. So success loves speed. So the longer you wait, the longer you delay that great body that you're going to have. The longer you wait, the longer you delay that, wealth that you and your family are going to have. So winners, winners act fast, number one, and losers wait for the perfect time. Okay. Again, success loves speed. So fast actions, and do not wait for the perfect time, because it never comes. We all know, probably you've been the same crap over and over. You always say, I'll wait for the perfect time, and it never comes. There's always something's going to be on your way. So act fast, fast action, and let's go, my friends. Again, let me know. I hope that was helpful for you. Let me know the greatest takeaway from today. What's the best one, out those 5 blueprints that I gave you today, 5 steps or 5 hacks? Which one was the most valuable that you never heard and you're like, oh my God, this one I'm going to implement today and right now. Okay, so let me know, what was that? Which of those 5 takeaways that I gave you today was the best for you, or maybe all of them, or all of them 5, right? So let me know, and I hope you'll have the best week of your entire life. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.